a second. Is this thing on? Hello? Hello? Are you? We've got to reboot the mainframe. Reboot the mainframe. Do it now. What the fuck? Well, hey, welcome back. So that was quite a week, wasn't it? I gotta say, I don't think I've ever experienced anything like that in my life. What we've been going through is unprecedented in modern times. And I suspect that there's probably a lot of fear and anxiety out there, and probably a lot of bewilderment, shock, stunned that this could happen so fast. In 1 week time, we go from just operation normal to closing down society and everybody staying indoors. So yeah, I suspect probably amongst yourselves, you might be feeling a lot of uncertainty. Many of you might be facing potential job losses, a lot of insecurity about your financial situation. I know a lot of you have traveled or are here from other countries and you're maybe trapped here now, or not sure if you're going to be able to make it back home, or maybe you're away from home and not sure if you're going to be able to make it back to Canada. So yeah, these are pretty intense times right now. So I think we need to acknowledge that. And just to acknowledge that, let me tell you about where my head is at as well. I mean, over this last week, I've been pretty shocked at how fast things have gone and changed. Just last week Monday, the teachers, we were emailing each other, just wondering, like, maybe we should be, waiving the requirement for doctor's notes if people aren't able to make exams. 4 days later, we're like, shut this mother down. Everybody's going online. We're closing the doors. I mean, like, that was fast. So, myself, I'm worried about how long we're going to be having to be like this. Sort of semi-quarantine, social distancing. I mean, I really enjoy the in-class experience. I do teach online as well, and so I'm comfortable teaching online, but I really do like the in-class experience. I really enjoy getting the chance to meet students and interact with you guys. And so, yeah, I'm worried about how long this is going to last. How long are we going to be locked down like this? My wife is a frontline healthcare worker, so she's going to be in the fray dealing with this COVID-19 situation. So I'm worried about her as well. I'm worried about my students. As I say, I know a lot of you guys are going to be facing potential job situations. You're going to have a lot of stress that you need to deal with. I know a lot of my students are primary caregivers for, elderly grandparents and parents, and I know that this is going to have a big impact on you guys as well. So I'm really worried for you guys too. But you know what? I'd like to start with a story. Which I think has some value in times like these. So this is a story of a naval officer who was stationed aboard a ship. And he was, he comes from a military family. He had a father who was a rear admiral, retired rear admiral in the Navy. So he joined the Navy. And so he was on a ship, doing his thing, being in the Navy. And the ship that he was on, this was early on in his career, the ship that he was on, they got a new captain one day. Their old captain was very competent, very, experienced, knew what he was doing really well. New captain came on board, and it was a brand new captain. This person had never been captain before, was very inexperienced, just really not up to the same standards as the old captain was. And this was causing a lot of anxiety among the crew. They were facing dangerous situations with storms and things like that, and they just didn't have a lot of confidence in their captain. And so one day, this guy was on shore leave, and he visited his family because that's what you do. And he was telling his father, who is this retired admiral, he's telling his father, like, oh, we got this new captain, and he's really horrible, doesn't know what he's doing, making all these mistakes. And his father interrupted him, and he said, what? Good crew doesn't let their captain fail. And the guy was like, what are you talking about? But this guy, he's incompetent. A crew's only as good as his captain. And the father's like, a good crew does not let their captain fail. And that was the end of that conversation. And I think in times like these, that story, that message, a good crew doesn't let their captain fail, I think that has a lot of importance in times like these. For example, right now in school, just in school, a lot of your teachers are being asked to do something that they've never had to do before. A lot of your teachers, some of your teachers are pretty adept at online learning, but a lot of your teachers are not. And so they're being asked to do something that they've never done before, they've never really wanted to do before, and they have no idea how to do it. And I say some of your teachers are going to manage that better than others. And but a good crew doesn't let their captain fail. So what does that mean for you as students? I mean, teachers are responsible for teaching students, but they're also responsible for looking after their students, helping their students out, helping their students, deal with the challenges that they have. So what does it mean in these days? Don't let your captain fail. So on the one hand, it might mean, if you see your teacher struggling, maybe just give them some space. Don't be too harsh and judgmental on them. It could also mean things like if you see another teacher doing something well that this current teacher is struggling with, maybe just a friendly email saying, hey, if you'd like some advice on this, why don't you talk to this other teacher? They seem to be doing it. It also, I think, means looking out for each other, because we're going to be having to shift onto an online teaching format, and that's going to be a bit of a learning curve for a lot of people. Different people have different technological capabilities. Teachers are going to do their best to look out for all their students, and seriously, there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes right now where we're trying to figure out how do we get things online, how do we help these teachers learn how to go online, how do we make sure that students have all the required technology and knowledge themselves. And we're trying. A good crew doesn't let their captain fail. If you see your fellow students struggling, if you see your fellow students who are maybe isolating themselves because they are primary caregivers for elderly people, or because they may have at-risk medical conditions themselves, reach out to them, say hello. In your communities, while we're all socially distancing ourselves, I think there's also a broader role as well. Our governments and our healthcare institutions have never had to deal with anything like this. And it's easy for us to sit back and to be judgy about them. They're moving too fast, they're moving too slow, they should be doing this, they should be doing that instead. We're all just dealing with this for the very first time. Good crew doesn't let their captain fail. Good people don't let their societies fail. This is the time where I think if we start to see gaps, where we start to see, man, this person's being left alone, I wish this was starting to happen instead, this is the time where we need to roll up our sleeves and fill in the gaps, right? A good crew doesn't let their captain fail. Your teachers are going to lead you. The administrators of the university are going to lead us. Government officials and healthcare authorities are going to lead all of us. But we all need everybody's help right now. We all need everybody to roll up their sleeves and fill in the gaps when we start to see those gaps form, because we've never done anything like this before. We're all doing this for the first time. You're doing this for the first time. I'm doing this for the first time. We're all doing this for the first time. Good crew doesn't let their captain fail. We all need to roll up our sleeves and I think see what needs to be done, stay in touch with each other, communicate with your friends, and take action to fill in whatever gaps need to be filled. So yeah, as I say, for this semester, we're going to be finishing this semester online. This is a different type of teaching modality, and it's also a different type of learning modality. So there's going to be some skills that you need to learn. There's going to be some things that you need to do different than what you asked for at the start of the semester, than what I asked for at the start of the semester. But we're going to get through this. So over the next couple of days, you're going to see on the website, you may have already started to see some of these things show up on the website. You're going to see me starting to add some more resources as we start to shift things online. I'm going to start adding instructions, instructional videos, and instructional content. So stay up to gear with that. And I think what's going to happen is that when we meet for the very first time again, we're going to be meeting virtually, okay? I'm going to run some virtual online conferencing. And when we do that for the first time in our first class, I think I think we're just going to have some time for a little bit of a check-in with each other, a little bit of a town hall. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions about what's happening with school, what's happening at KPU, what's happening to the semester. You may have a lot of questions. I don't know if I have all of the answers, but I have some answers. So you can ask me those questions. We can share some of the experiences and how we're coping and how we're dealing with this. So yeah, when we meet again, it'll be virtually online. And I think we'll spend the first little bit of time just, as I say, checking in with each other. So if you have some questions, if you have some thoughts or experiences you'd like to share, maybe think of them, and we'll, maybe think of them, and just so that you have something to talk about when we meet. And then, yeah, keep your eyes open on your emails and keep your eyes open on the website, because resources are going to be coming online over the next couple of days, and instructions. And by this time next week, we'll all be pretty sure of how we're going to be moving through the rest of this semester, okay? So we're getting things under control. We're dealing with it. Good crew doesn't let their captain fail. Look for the gaps in the system and in the people around you, and help people out. Help people out. Help each other out. I'll try to help you out the best I can. You help me out. I'll help my fellow teachers out. You know what? Human beings, we do this kind of stuff. We live through these kinds of things. We have systems inherent within our societies and within ourselves personally to manage these kinds of things. And we're going to get through this, all right? So stay positive. And I'm going to be looking forward to our first online conference. I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys again and just being in touch. So stay strong, stay healthy, wash your hands, stop touching your face. Don't touch anybody else's face either. And I will talk with you guys soon. Me. Mimi. There we go, me. That's probably not good.